What's up, guys? Ness here. Welcome to another episode of Busted Knuckle Garage. The YZ250 here. She needs a little, took her to the track today, actually a couple tracks. Went to Mountain View and then I went to my buddy's track. And she needs a little maintenance, so, because I am going on a ride this weekend out to the desert. So I need to get her ready to go. So I'm going to just record this whole thing and I'll try to tell a few stories and maybe I'll cut this into a few episodes for you, Joe, of Busted Knuckle. So I owe you this one, and so yeah, I'm gonna crank a few out here, and yeah, I actually got some work to do on the CRF250R too, so it's gonna be a long night. We'll see if we get around to it all. So anyways, before I go into a story though, just what I'm gonna do the bike tonight, I need to clean and change the air filter. I'll get to that in a minute. I need to loosen the chain a little bit, retension the chain. I'm also going to pull the rear axle and grease it, because I haven't done that in a while. I'm going to change the transmission oil, and then just give it a, and then first and foremost, before I do any of that, I'm just going to clean the bike. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and clean it. It's going to be loud, so I'm not going to tell a story. I'll probably fast forward and throw some music to it or something like that. And so yeah, let me go ahead and as far as cleaning it goes, first thing I do too is I use a combination of products. I use this, I don't even know, hopefully you can see this here, Purple Power. So just a good industrial strength degreaser. Just kind of hit this kind of all over. Get the bike nice and soaked with this stuff. It's pretty cheap, it's not too expensive. Do this first, and then some of the harder areas I have some stuff called PJ1 that I'll use. And sorry, just try to get so you can see that. And the PJ1, that's a little more expensive, so I'll wait and douse it with this first. Oh, okay. So guys, next got the bike's all clean. My bike's all clean! Little garden snake reference there. I can't do impressions, guys. So roller into the stable here. Give myself some room to work. It's all greasy. It's all slippery. There we go. Okay. Next thing, I'm gonna dry her off. Let's get some more light in here, but whew. Hot, hot, hot. We'll just do that one. Okay. Okay, so stories. Gosh, I got lots of stories. So when I first got out of high school, I went to Oregon State University for like a year. That was back in the days when when I went into Navy ROTC, I went into a fraternity, and I was gonna major in computer science engineering because I was gonna be a fighter pilot in the Navy. You know, watched Top Gun a few times, and you know, I was gonna be the next Top Gun. So, needless to say, like, I think basically every one of those choices within a year went away. I was actually not on scholarship with the Navy ROTC program. I was trying to earn one, so I didn't actually receive any money from them. I was like doing it volunteer style to hope that I could, you know, earn a scholarship. So there wasn't any, like, you know, anything like that. So I had the utmost respect for the military, and actually I really kind of did enjoy the ROTC thing. I was just young and dumb, and is this even a 13? No, it's not. It's a 12. Oh. So anyways, young and dumb, and my dad was in the Navy, so kind of wanted to follow in his footsteps in a way. He was not in for a long time. He was only in for 4 years, but he has some interesting stories. And anyways, I digress. Is this the 12? Yes! Dude, I am on a roll with this tonight. And this is yes, that is the correct socket. So I was in this fraternity, and you know, this fraternity, I gotta tell you, it was kind of lame, guys. As far as fraternities go, it was like really no partying. I don't know if fraternities aren't all about partying, but I don't know. I wanted to party, and so that's what kind of distracted me from pretty much everything my freshman year. Okay. And gonna need a funnel. So anyways, there was like a fraternity scene. There was like, I don't know if you guys ever been in a fraternity. It's like weird politics. Like this house doesn't like that house, and that house doesn't like this house, and I don't know. It's pretty fake. It pretty much sucks. I really wouldn't recommend it, actually. And so me and my buddies, I found, like, in our freshman class, they called us maggots. And so our little group of maggots, or at least 3 of us, we kind of formed our own little clan, and we were like against the man, the man being like the upperclassmen that tried to rain on our parade of fun. And so I remember one night, after a heavy night of drinking, I'm sitting there with the 2 other guys, and they actually just, like, we're in our little, we had our own room that we could do with what we wanted, and it was basically our little drinking room. It was a spare room in the fraternity house that no one was using. And so, 250. And so we're hanging out, drinking one night, and this and that, partying. And we're all just sitting on the couch, just throwing back. We drank 40s of like Old English and ghetto beer. It was pretty disgusting, really. And one night we're just sitting there drinking, and these guys just like we're all sitting on the couch, and I look to my left, and one guy's passed out. I look to my right, the other guy's passed out, and I'm like, night's still young. Like, what am I gonna do? I'm not ready to go to bed. And so I was like, well, heck, I'm gonna go. I went outside, and I think I went out on our lawn and was just tipping back the rest of my 40, thinking, okay, well, I'll probably just call it a night. And I see the house next door to us, the Spies, Sigma Phi Epsilon. These guys, 10. What got here? These guys, our house did not like their house. Like, we actually, like in the wintertime, we used to play what's called speedball, where we would lob snowballs at their windows and break their windows, and like, or not just us, but like the entire fraternity community. Like, I mean, the place where the school I was at had a fairly large Greek system, and so there was, I don't know, between sororities and fraternities, and there's like 20 or something like that, and like some really big houses. And so like anytime there was a snowfall, we used to play speedball. And like everybody in the Greek system neighborhood would come out to this house and just lob snowballs, no discretion whatsoever, like break as many windows as possible. And so basically they learned like a long time ago, so anytime they thought it was going to snow, like they sent their freshmen out to board up all the windows so that, you know, they wouldn't have any broken windows. I think they always usually ended up with one because each, you know, they weren't very... Air filter looks pretty darn good. I'll clean it anyway though. So yeah, anyways, so they threw snowballs at this place, blah, blah, blah. We didn't like them. So I'm out there drinking one night, tipping back my 40, and I see a guy out there, and I'm like, you know what, I'm going to go make friends. I'm going to go... See, I gotta be focused on what I'm doing with you guys here. So yeah. Sorry. Losing the ability to speak this evening. So I decided, well, I'm gonna go make friends, right? And so I go over there. I'm gonna go wash this baby up. I go over there and we start shooting, you know, talking and stuff, and you know, shooting the wind, and he was a really cool guy. Like, I was like, man, I don't know why. He's like, yeah, I think he was a freshman as well. He's like, I don't know why we hate you guys and you hate us, or why we're all hated and stuff. It doesn't make any sense. And so we're just talking, having a good old time, and all of a sudden, whoop, whoop, and freaking 2 cop cars roll up. And remind you, I'm 19, I'm not of drinking age at all. And so 2 cop cars pull up, like literally, I don't know, we're standing in a front yard and they pull up to the curb. I mean, they're not that far from us at all. And by the way, for you guys, for air filter cleaning, like, no toil is the stuff. Really good. You'll see how freaking the dirt that comes out of this thing. So yeah, a cop pulls up, he's like, hey you, he pointed right at me, come here. And I like kind of turn towards him, and I'm looking at him, and then I don't know what got into me, but I just turned and ran towards the house. Granted, I've never been in this house before, ever. We hated these guys. Well, at least my fraternity hated them, so it's not like we did functions together. Like, I've only seen their house from the outside. Never been in it at all. And so I just go running straight for the front door, throw the front door open, and there's actually like people hanging out inside, like a big group of people, it seemed like, I don't know, 10 or so. And like I said, never been in this house, but instinctively I saw glass doors facing, going outside the backyard. So I ran straight back there, and I like ran through the doors. I chucked my 40 across one fence into another yard, and then there was a fence to my left, and I just freaking did this, like, just hucked myself, you know, through, you know, hurdle style. Side hurdle, Jackie Joyner Kersey, whatever style, and get that out of there. And then there was like a parking lot full of cars, so I just rolled underneath a car and just like sat there like cringing, waiting, like, oh man, just waiting for them to like come over and, you know, look underneath the car and find me. And I waited there forever. I mean, it seemed, I think I was there for at least an hour, and, you know, the cops did their thing, and then they couldn't find me, so they just left. And I walked back over to my house and sat back down on the couch where I was sitting before. The same two guys were still passed out there. Had a few swigs of my beer, and I was like, well, this sucks, and I went to bed. There's another little story for you, for y'all. For y'alls. So, let this filter dry a little bit. Probably just put it in later. So, yeah, guys. What else was I gonna do? Was that it? I changed the oil, did that, washed the bike. It's pretty good. Somewhat productive. I was gonna do Emily's bike. Maybe I should. I don't really feel up to it right now. Well, guys, that's it. Busted Knuckle Garage for you. Yamajo Kawajo 120.